For the rest of her life, and she lived a very long time thereafter, Eldoris Ector McCondiche remembered the exact words of her mother. "Eldoris, wake up! We have to go!" Harriet Ector shrieked to her daughter on that beautiful spring morning of June 1st, 1921. "The white people are killing the colored folks!" The cloudless sky outside was still pink from the dawn, but with those words, Eldoris's drowsiness was gone in a blink, rendering her fully awake and trembling by the time she tossed aside the covers. The 9-year-old girl threw a dress over her head as her mother rushed her along, with scarcely time for shoes and socks, and followed her parents and older brother as they hurried toward the front door of their small home on Iroquois Avenue. White people? Killing the coloreds? Eldoris waited to shake free from the nightmare, but she couldn't. She turned her mother's words around in her young mind, trying to fit them together in a way that would make sense, but that didn't happen either. The days before had been so peaceful, boys and girls antsy because the end of the school year was just a few days away, but nothing else seemed amiss whatsoever. And white people? Eldoris never had reason to fear them before. Every morning since she could remember, her father had set out on foot, walking south through the black quarter where her family lived, the place called Greenwood. Then he crossed the Frisco Railroad tracks at the edge of the Negro community, stepping into the dream world of tall buildings and streetcars and big new stores and huge schools and fancy homes where the whites of Tulsa, Oklahoma lived. Every day, Eldoris's father clipped those white folks' lawns and weeded their gardens, and the rich whites brought her father cold drinks on hot afternoons, and gave him a ham at Christmas, and otherwise treated her father fine, at least as far as his young daughter knew. But most important, they also paid her daddy a nice wage. Eldoris was old enough to know that the salary Howard Ector earned across the tracks was the reason his family had their little house on Iroquois. It paid for their food, and 15-cent movies at the Dreamland Theater on Greenwood Avenue, for her dresses, even for a doll or two. And Eldoris knew the story was the same in almost every Greenwood household. Negroes toiling for white folks across the tracks, thousands of men and women joining Howard Ector on the same trek south to work as maids, or as mammies who suckled the white infants, or as chauffeurs, elevator operators, ditch diggers, landscapers, or shoeshine boys, taking the burdens from white Tulsans who got rich from the oil wells gushing just south of the city.